Welcome back to the news at 10. Now let's give you a bit more perspective on our lead story now. And the president says he's saddened by the accidental airstrike that left several people dead in Ran community in northern Borno state. A Nigerian Air Force plane wrongly dropped a bomb on the community. The incident, which the military has described as a mistake, is believed to have left scores of other people dead and many injured. A statement by President Muhammadu Buhari commiserates with the family of the dead, the Borno State government and the Borno State government on that issue. President Buhari also pledged the federal government's assistance to the state government in attending to what's called regrettable operational mistake, end of quote. Earlier, the defense spokesman, Brigadier General Rabi Abubakar, told Channels Television that the incident did not occur in an IDP camp, as reported in some quarters. He adds that the bombing followed a response by troops after they received information of movement of Boko Haram members in the area. The Nigerian Air Force has also commiserated with the families of those affected by the airstrike, adding that the theatre commander, Operation Lafia Dole, is taking steps to provide details of the incident. Meanwhile, the Borno State Governor Kashim Shettima has ordered the State Ministry of Health to set up an emergency shelter with all medical hospitals under the state government in Maiduguri and place them on standby in readiness to carry out emergency treatment. In a statement, Governor Shettima says he received the news with very deep concern and has channeled his focus on ensuring that all the victims, particularly those with severe injuries, are provided urgent medical attention. The statement adds, quote, Governor Shettima looks forward to formal communication from the military to ascertain what happened. For now, all focus should be on the evacuation of victims and the provision of emergency medical services to them, end of quote. Governor Shettima commends Doctors Without Borders for its rapid response in providing first aid to victims at the scene. We move on to legal matters, and the trial of the Senate President, Dr. Bukola Saraki, at the Code of Conduct Tribunal over alleged false declaration of assets continued today in Abuja, with a witness testifying how the Senate President allegedly transferred funds from Nigeria to service its mortgage obligation through an offshore account in the United Kingdom. At the resumed hearing of the case, the witness Amazu Nwachukwu, who works as a funds transfer officer in Guarantee Trust Bank, explained how the Senate President transferred over $3 million between 2009 and 2012 from his domiciliary account with the bank to American Express Europe Services Limited. Hearing in the case continues tomorrow. The Deputy Senate Leader Bala Ibn Naala has asked the Senate to wade into the non-payment of salaries of federal judges in the last 4 months. Raising a point of order at plenary, Senator Ibn Naala wants the Senate to investigate the matter through its Committee on Judiciary, describing it as a disturbing signal. The Deputy Senate President Ike Ekweremadu, who presided in absence of the Senate President Bukola Saraki, also finds the situation worrisome if true. He said the reason why judges are placed on first-line charge is to avoid a situation where they could be tempted and enticed. The matter is referred to the Committee on Judiciary, with a mandate to ensure that the judges are paid on or before Monday. We move on to the story now in Plateau State, where the police say they've rescued 135 children in Jos after 2 trucks conveying them were intercepted at a checkpoint. The public relations officer of the police command told Channels Television that the minors are all male and were being moved from other states to the north-central region, with Plateau as a major route.
Welcome to Business News. Nigeria's Vice President, Professor Yemi Osinbajo, says the federal government aims to sell euro-denominated bonds worth $1 billion in March. He made this known today at the start of the World Economic Forum in Davos, Switzerland, accompanied by the delegation comprising the Ministers of Trade, Agriculture and Water Resources, as well as the Special Advisor on Economic Matters to the President. Professor Osinbajo is expected to lead a discussion on business in Nigeria. He also plans to hold meetings with some global companies and other leaders attending the forum before returning to Abuja on Friday. The United Kingdom Development Finance Institution, CDC Group, says its total investment in various sectors and companies in Nigeria totals $500 million. The CDC Group investment manager in charge of intermediated equity, Mr. Gozie Chibwe, while speaking with Channels Television, said returns on investment in Nigeria have been good.
It's an interesting time to invest in Nigeria. I mean, we're seeing lots of good opportunities across a number of sectors. 2 or 3 sectors I'll highlight will be agro-processing. We've seen some really good, interesting opportunities there, and also the power space. And also in thinking about real estate, I mean, there's specific nodes in Nigeria that are very attractive at this point. For example, commercial real estate on the Lagos mainland as opposed to Victoria Island, for example. So there are lots and lots of interesting opportunities in Nigeria at this time.
The bears had an upper hand at the close of trading today, but analysts are expecting profit-taking to continue tomorrow. Let's now join Harriet Agbeni for the market summary. Key indicators at the Nigerian Stock Exchange closed south as investors booked profit of some blue-chip stocks. The all-share index fell 0.36%, while the market capitalization dropped by over 30 billion naira to end the session at 9.041 trillion naira. Well, 7up, NEM Insurance and AG Leventis were the top 3 percentage losers, alongside 19 other stocks that shed weight today. And for the second trading day, Unity Bank, Diamond Bank and Vitafoam were the top 3 percentage gainers. Diamond Bank continued to be among most actively traded equities, including Fidelity Bank and Continental Reinsurance. 371.86 million shares were exchanged in 3,522 deals, valued at 1.71 billion naira. Those are the day's trading figures. I'm Harriet Agbeni. Thank you, Harriet. Now let's check out U.S. stocks. And to give us details on what to watch out for this week is VOA Channels TV business correspondent Jill Malandrino from the Nasdaq market site in New York.
U.S. stocks open lower across the board on Tuesday morning to kick off a holiday-shortened week in the States, an historic week at that. Traders are digesting comments by several world leaders, including UK Prime Minister Theresa May and speakers at the Davos World Economic Forum. In addition, President-elect Donald Trump is attacking the House Republican tax plan, calling it too complicated, particularly border tax, as it's more difficult to write than corporate tax, as an example. The world will be watching the inaugural swearing-in ceremony of President-elect Donald Trump and Vice President-elect Mike Pence on January 20th, starting at 9:30 a.m. Eastern, and the swearing-in is at noon. Of course, the hot topic is the Trump rally, and if there is any momentum. Now, financials and technology, they're the 2 largest components of the S&P 500. They are going to dominate the earnings calendar, including one of the most actively traded stocks, Netflix. That's on Wednesday after the market closes. Consumers love to binge-watch Netflix, and traders love to trade this name. Other key stocks to watch on the calendar includes Morgan Stanley, which reported this morning, United Healthcare, CSX, United Continental, TD Ameritrade, Citigroup, Goldman Sachs, U.S. Bancorp, American Express, IBM, and General Electric. Actual earnings results or forward guidance are always important to the markets. Fundamentally, there are several reasons to be bullish as earnings season continues through February. Economic data continues to improve, consumer confidence is increasing, and earnings estimate revisions have been moving higher. All of these suggest more confidence in corporate health. But with many variables and policy uncertainty around Trump, we will most likely see muted guidance until the market gets more clarity. From the Nasdaq market site in New York, I'm Jill Malandrino, and this is VOA Channels Business News.
Let's move to the oil market. Prices climbed higher today with support from the falling US dollar and comments from Saudi Arabia that it would adhere strictly to the agreements between OPEC and other producers like Russia to cut output. The dollar fell to a near 6-week low against the basket of currencies after U.S. President-elect Donald Trump said that the strong greenback was hurting U.S. competitiveness. Brent crude was down 38 cents at $55.48 a barrel. That's after an earlier rise of $56.95 a barrel. Analysts are saying that traders are watching rising U.S. output with interest as this could offset supply cuts elsewhere. To the global market now, as financial markets count down to the inauguration of U.S. President-elect Donald Trump this week, global equities ended today's session mostly in the red on concerns over the incoming administration's policy. Now let's see the numbers. With those numbers, we end Business News tonight. Thanks for watching. Back to you, Joma.
Thanks a lot, Anne. Americans have been extolling the virtues of civil rights icon Martin Luther King as they mark his birthday. Coming after an election characterized by divisive rhetoric and bickering ahead of the inauguration of President-elect Donald Trump, the event is seen by some Americans, especially the African-American community, as one that reminds them that more needs to be done for peaceful coexistence in the U.S. Our Washington correspondent Maria Bird reports.
Dr. Martin Luther King was a beacon of hope for so many in the United States, and his legacy continues to live on.
We shall overcome. We shall overcome someday. Yeah, we have come a distance. We made a lot of progress as a nation and as a people, but we're not there yet.
King didn't die because he fought for black people. You don't get killed for that. You don't get killed for fighting for black people. You get killed when your message becomes larger than any one group. You get killed when your message speaks to people no matter what they look like or where they're from. King spoke to an American power structure that didn't need to be at war. And he spoke to a nation that talked big about prosperity, but denied it from most of its citizens.
The wreath laying at the Martin Luther King Jr. Memorial in Washington, D.C. was nothing but historic on this inauguration week.
I think this year, because we're doing a new Trump administration, to always keep in forefront what Dr. King stood for, what he meant for it, but also what this memorial stands for. We talk about justice, hope, and democracy. Talk about what this memorial encompasses. And so, as I said earlier, if everybody were to follow that, democracy, justice, hope, and love, what a great country this would be. It's important that during this inauguration that we keep that in mind as we set forth a new era in the United States of America.
So, you know, every year that I come here, this is the 6th one. I've been coming since it started in 2011. The program today was just like any other, you know, coming here and hearing about his legacy, seeing all the different people here today. And it's never too cold. It's never too early. You know, you got to get out of bed and pay your respects to MLK. None of us would be where we are without his sacrifice and his legacy.
From the Dr. King Memorial in Washington, Maria Bird, Channels Television News.
Next on the news at 10, Manchester City midfielder Yaya Toure rejects £430,000 a week offer from Chinese club. That's on sports. Please stay with us.